So the roller coaster ride that is UFC 251 has led us to this point. The champion, Kamaru Usman, versus the challenger, Jorge Masvidal, for the undisputed welterweight championship of the world. And Jorge Masvidal has taken the fight on 6 days' notice. All the talk is that Jorge Masvidal is a real gangster for taking this fight on short notice and putting himself at a huge disadvantage. It's definitely a gangster move, and he should definitely be praised for that. Here's the thing though, is he really putting himself at a massive disadvantage? Earlier this week, Kamaru Usman said something very interesting when talking to ESPN MMA, and here's the clip, edited and heavily filtered so we don't get a copyright strike.
There's already a built-in excuse here. You know, you start seeing all the headlines and you see all the things they're posting, everyone's posting, you know, even ESPN MMA is posting it, everyone. It's like, you know, Jorge Masvidal steps in on 6 days notice and, you know, and it's all, oh yeah, Masvidal's stepping in, Masvidal's doing this. They're trying to still keep this guy up as if he has one guy that he's been training for the whole entire time, which is me. Well, I just did a full training camp for another guy. And I'm the one risking everything. This is a win-win for him.
Now, if you were to put a gun to my head and ask me who has the advantage going into UFC 251 and why, I would say it's Kamaru Usman, and I would say it's because Jorge Masvidal took the fight on 6 days' notice. So, yeah, the thumbnail and the title is kind of clickbait. Sorry. To make matters worse, American Top Team head coach Mike Brown tested positive for COVID, so Jorge Masvidal is not even going to have his head coach in his corner. But it's not like Kamaru Usman isn't onto something here. So let's dispel the myth that Jorge Masvidal is at a massive disadvantage in a couple key important areas. The first area is preparedness. Now, Jorge has been training for a fighter like Usman for a long time. If I had to guess how long, I would probably say it's ever since he captured the BMF championship against Nate Diaz in December. And if I'm being really conservative about it, I would say it's probably after Kamaru Usman and Colby Covington had their classic match in December. Although, if I had to guess between the two dates, I would probably pick the November date because Kamaru Usman and Colby Covington actually have kind of similar styles. Aside from a couple minute differences, they both approach MMA the same way. So, it wouldn't have changed Jorge Masvidal's approach to training that much. And here's another thing. It's not like American Top Team isn't going to get another look at Kamaru Usman. Keep in mind, Colby Covington is an American Top Team product, or was until he pissed everybody off. So that means they've been taking a look at Kamaru Usman since at least the fall of last year. And they're definitely transferring that information over to Jorge. But fine, let's just assume that he's only known and trained for Kamaru Usman since December of 2019. That would mean that Jorge Masvidal has been analyzing and preparing for Kamaru Usman for 8 months. And no, don't bring up COVID as an excuse, because Florida has some of the most lax laws when it came to COVID-19 regulations. Meanwhile, Usman was preparing to fight Covington and then was preparing to fight Masvidal until that fight got scrapped and Burns stepped in and had to abandon all that training to prepare for Burns until Burns got COVID, then had to go back to Masvidal. So if you can tell how things have changed for Usman, you can tell that he might actually come into this fight less prepared than Masvidal. Now, again, all of this is speculative, and I'm not necessarily going to definitively say that Masvidal is more prepared than Usman. The point I'm trying to make, though, is that Jorge Masvidal isn't at this huge disadvantage when it comes to preparedness. But everyone's making it seem like Jorge Masvidal is highly unprepared for this matchup, which means all the pressure is on Kamaru Usman to perform. And that leads me to the next area, pressure. The expected outcome amongst most MMA pundits is that Kamaru Usman should pick up the W against Jorge Masvidal, especially since Masvidal took the fight on 6 days' notice. This means that Masvidal is being credited as the guy who saved the card, which, for the record, he did. He definitely did. But that does mean win or lose, people are going to be less critical of Masvidal's performance. Meanwhile, even if Usman wins, he has to ball out for people to be impressed. Also, in terms of general popularity, Masvidal is clearly the more popular of the two, and that only bolsters the argument that in terms of pressure, most of it is on Usman. And if you were one of the people who don't think pressure matters to a fighter, you're wrong. Straight up, I'll just tell you right now, you're wrong. Fighters are human, and you'd be surprised what can affect them come fight night. The best example is Joanna Jędrzejczyk admitting her relationship issues led to her losing 3 straight. And look, say what you will about Joanna using her toxic relationship as an excuse, and I'd agree with you, she's a sore loser, but the point is that fighters have human problems, human motivations, and human downfalls under extreme pressure, and Usman could succumb to all of that this Saturday. But only time will tell. And there you have it. That's why Jorge Masvidal might have the advantage going into the fight this Saturday. Do you agree? Why or why not? Let us know in the comments. And I know it's a cliche thing to say, but like and subscribe, please. This is Michael from the Leg Kick, signing out. Peace.